Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video topic, undervalued booster boxes. I'm going to show you so much information and hammer home a point about just how undervalued certain booster boxes are. Now this should give you a very good insight into whether to pick them up or not. My suggestion would certainly be to grab some of these if you don't have them as part of your collection, or if you are truly into the investing space and really want to capitalize on the amount of money you spend and what returns you get from that money, then these booster boxes are a fantastic choice. Now, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey on this video. So I'm going to bring up something on the screen here. This is, and we're going back in time a little bit here, we're going back 4 years ago. These are Sun and Moon booster box prices from 4 years ago. Here we have it up on the screen. So December 2021. Now you can't say that the Pokemon hobby wasn't hyped up by this stage, because it certainly was. Look, it did probably start to cool off a tiny bit around this time, if not early 2022, but from mid 2022 all the way through to the massive sets we saw from Sword and Shield era with sets like Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, it was hyped around this time. There were influencers, the Pokemon investing space on YouTube was really taking off, the PSA grading had absolutely exploded. Pokemon was not in a lull around this time. It was hugely popular, just like it is now. And as you can see from these Sun and Moon boxes, these are the top 7 most expensive booster boxes from Sun and Moon era. Now there's a few things that really interest me on here. One, I've added the total set value. I always talk about the massive correlation between total set value and booster box price. And there's another figure that comes into play here. And look, total set value isn't the only thing that drives booster box price. It certainly has a massive, massive impact on it, but it's not the only thing. Time, obviously, as an object becomes, in this case, a booster box becomes more and more rare, there's less and less of them on the market, then of course, that has an impact on box price as well. As does things like the PSA 10 grading play, as if, you know, the top chase card might be worth $300 raw, but if it's worth $6,000 in a PSA 10 because there's only 80 graded copies in a 10 of it, well, there's a grading play to be had there. Anyway, that's separate video when we're talking about what makes a booster box valuable. But right here, you can see in December 2021, even something like Team Up was sub $1,000. Now, I'm going to layer beneath this right here. This is December 2025. So these are the exact same booster boxes right now. So literally 4 years later, if you'd invested heavy bags into a lot of Sun and Moon booster boxes back in December 2021, you would well and truly be laughing all the way to the bank right now. There are some very, very big changes and massive gains had amongst Sun and Moon booster boxes. And you might say, well, Pokey-Oz, what are you talking about? Where are the undervalued booster boxes? These are expensive booster boxes now. Let's just, bear with me, let's just talk through a few things here. Let's look at the booster box price and total set value. As you can see, none of the booster box prices were greater than the total set value. Now, on the bottom one, you can see a fair few of them, or a few of them have overtaken total set value. A lot of them are on parity with total set value, and some of them are still lagging a little bit behind total set value. Now, I think as a booster box gets older and rarer, it well and truly should become more expensive than its total set value. And that's where my argument is. We still have some massively undervalued booster boxes from, you might have guessed it, the Sword and Shield era. Here we go right here. Like, absorb these for a little bit longer, but now let's pop up Sword and Shield booster boxes. Before we discuss Sword and Shield booster boxes, I just want to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collectr app. There'll be a link in the description to download it. You can follow my journey down in the content creators section. And the big one is though, as a pro user, there's so much data as a pro user. There's also so many cool updates being done to this app. You can check under your portfolio the market movers, whether something's been making gains or losses for you recently. In your user tab, you can see massive things now. So you used to be able to see, you know, how much you've spent on your total set, whether it's cards, singles, graded, sealed, You can see your total set value essentially, what your total collection is worth. Now, when you sell something, you can see what your gains are. So you can put in the profit you've made. The set analytics, this is where I grabbed all the data from. When I'm talking total set value, these set analytics come straight off Collectr app. It shows you so much data. As an investor, it is so, so important. So again, there will be a link in the description to download that one. Now, on to Undervalued Sword and Shield booster boxes. I'm going to bring up, here we go, December 2025. And you know what? Underneath that, I'm gonna inlay December 2021 Sun and Moon booster boxes. But predominantly we're going to discuss the Sword and Shield ones. But if you look underneath it, you might see some similarities. You might see that a lot of the booster boxes are very similar prices to what we saw in Sun and Moon booster boxes in December 2021. And B, a lot of the total set values are actually quite similar between Sword and Shield booster boxes, Sword and Shield sets, and the Sun and Moon sets beneath it. What does it tell us? Like, we've just literally looked at the fact that these numbers we're seeing for Sword and Shield right now, December 2025, are very similar numbers to what we saw for Sun and Moon just 4 years ago. And I just said, if you'd invested heavily into those Sun and Moon booster boxes at those prices 4 years ago, you would have made massive amounts of money. You would have seen huge returns. So what's going to stop Pokemon from repeating itself? We look at these Sword and Shield prices, literally in the next 4 years, like we're literally talking December 2029. Before we know it, that'll happen. I remember December 2021 like it was yesterday when, some amazing sets had come out, the hype around Pokemon was cool, the alternate arts were really taking off and people were absolutely loving them. Like, it literally does feel like yesterday that happened. So before we know it, it's going to be December 2029 and these Sword and Shield sets are going to be 4 years older. So when I talk about undervalued booster boxes, like, none of these booster boxes are going to get reprinted from Sword and Shield. And you look like Pokemon cares too much about the secondary market. It would be a massive shot in the foot to artificially, pump out so much more product and reprint so many more sets that you get this small increase in profit for a short term and shoot your whole secondary market for multiple sets in the foot that, a large customer base then doesn't want to buy your products anymore because a large customer base cares about the secondary market and the collectability of the cards and how much they're worth. Like, it just doesn't work that way. The Pokemon Company International is too clever to do things like that. They've got the ball on a string. Like, they know what their customer base wants. They know where the supply and the demand sits. Yes, they might have got it wrong a couple of times during COVID. Case in point, maybe Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze, and Shining Fates. But for the most part, they know where it sits. Here we go though, Sword and Shield booster boxes. When we look at that, and when I see a set like Evolving Skies, and you go, damn, that's expensive for a set that's not very old. And you go, like, it's already it's like $2,000 a booster box. Look at its total set value though. What did you notice about Team Up's total set value? Team Up, when it was, what was its total set value? Like $8,000. So Evolving Skies isn't that far behind. And its booster box price, also $8,000. Evolving Skies, $6,000 total set value, and its booster box price around $2,000. As this box gets rarer, as more and more get opened, as more and more people chase those evolutions, chase Dragonite, chase Rayquaza, chase, of course, the big Umbreon hit, this will get rarer and rarer. And as it gets rarer and rarer, the box price will go up. And also, coupled with all of this fact that in 4 years' time, I just can't imagine what Evolving Skies booster box price will be in December 2029. I can't imagine what a Fusion Strike booster box will be in 2029. If sets like Ultra Prism and Lost Thunder, Ultra Prism maybe not the best example, but Lost Thunder for sure, which has maybe 1 or 2 trainer cards and a Rainbow Lugia. It's like, that set doesn't even compare to how nice a lot of these Sword and Shield sets. It doesn't compare to Brilliant Stars, in my opinion. It doesn't compare to Fusion Strike. Like, I just can't fathom the places these sets are going to go in the next 4 years. Coupled with the fact that a lot of them have just recently seen retractions in prices. Like, to me, they just feel undervalued. And I know you can go, oh, well, look, Michael, like, your feelings don't matter. Your feelings don't affect the market price. Of course they don't. But, sometimes there does need to be some level of, intuition when it comes to investing. No one has a crystal ball at all. No one's going to go, oh, exactly this time, this year, this price of this box is going to be this. Like, no one knows that, of course. But So many of them have had retractions. Brilliant Stars has pulled back, Fusion Strike's pulled back, Lost Origins pulled back, Evolving Skies has pulled back. All of those big, memorable booster box sets with amazing old art Pokemon cards inside them have retracted in price, and they're nowhere near their total set value. We're likely also going to see, in my opinion, a lot of these total set values climb up in the not too distant future. Like, I can't see some of the trainer galleries, even sets like Brilliant Stars, which has, and Astral Radiance, that has some of the most beautiful trainer gallery cards inside there. It's just so reminiscent of sets like Cosmic Eclipse in 2021. I remember you looked at that trainer gallery from Cosmic Eclipse in 2021, and booster box price, which I had on the screen before, and the biggest one, which is of course that Pikachu from there, that was like a $30 card, and now look at it. And it's the same with these beautiful trainer galleries from things like Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, and Brilliant Stars. Like, they're just going to see increases in price, in my opinion, and that's going to push total set value up. That in turn will push up booster box price. The fact that they're also getting older and rarer, and more of them get open, so there's less on the market, that will also push up booster box price. I just feel all of this is undervalued. You can make your choice whether you buy any or not. You might have missed the boat and gone, look, I'll only ever buy stuff at retail, and that's fine. Go buy Mega Evolution and some of the Scarlet and Violet sets. Perfectly fine. Very, very plausible answer. Anyway, there you go. Some data up on the screen. I'm Michael. This is Pokeoz, and I'll catch everyone next time.